Hey there, so today we have another review. I don't know if I've reviewed this on the channel before. Maybe. I forget. But, all right, let's check it out. This is Brooklyn Brewery's Black Chocolate Stout. So there's no actual chocolate in here. Obviously, we live in a world of like pastry stout and all this stuff. This is just a standard Imperial Stout with the new branding label, so I really like it. I mean, they kept the new, they kept the old logo, which is great, but new branding. It looks pretty good. I like it. I will say in 2023, maybe something to say more, because I think a lot of people might assume this was like a chocolate beer. A good example would be like the Yingling, Hershey's, blah blah blah. Like this is just standard Imperial Stout. This is actually a really important beer in the sense that my friend actually before I actually got into craft beer, my friends were into craft beer, which is actually pretty crazy. And now I'm the guy that's industry, Van Cisteron, blah 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 blah. But they were into beer before me, and this was one of the beers that they enjoyed. 6 Point was definitely around a lot. It took a flower power, but my friends were big fans of this beer, and I really didn't like it. I just found it really, really bitter. Obviously, my palate's developed in the last, it's been almost 15 years. So it's been a while, yeah. So we're talking about a beer that, like, we were enjoying back in, like, when, like, we were, like, 21 and stuff, but now I'm 35, so. Beer is quite dark. I actually do not remember the beer being this dark at all. Yeah, this beer is very, very dark. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So, I mean, I guess I'm not that familiar with the beer. I don't really have it that much. So, really excited to see this available. This was bottled February? No. The date got smudged, but what does it matter? It's an Imperial Stout. Definitely this year's vintage. I don't actually know when during the year they release it, but I think it's around this time. It should be a winter seasonal. But hey, beer is very dark. Yeah, again, I don't remember this beer being this black. It almost looks like a 1050 or, medium to medium plus brown head. Quite opaque, very, very black. I mean, this is a very dark looking beer. Huh. I don't think that was... You guys post constable if you guys are more familiar. Yeah, it smells familiar. At least Imperial Stout wise. I guess I'm really confused about my perceptions about this beer because I'm really not. How this? I remember this being, even after getting into beer, one of the thinner kind of Imperial Stouts. But hey, this doesn't look it or smell it. On the nose, you get this really nice kind of. If you guys are big Imperial Stout fans, you're gonna get this flavor note of like. It's almost like grape candy or dark red grapes, and this kind of like almost like what is it like? Not blow pop. What's the one like Tootsie Roll pop? Whatever that thing is, like grape version of that. There's I get this purple note in a lot of Imperial Stout, so it's very grapey. Grape candy, roast nuttiness. I get this kind of like roasted walnut flavor in here. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, a little bit of espresso, but a lot of that grapey tone. Yeah. Cheers. Okay, yeah. So I'm somewhat familiar with this beer. This is not your biggest Imperial Stout. I mean, it's a big beer. Tastes actually pretty good, but so up front is quite acrid. Black chocolate for sure. I mean, when we're talking black chocolate, we're not talking about dark chocolate. There's some of milk, sugar, and milk. We're talking cacao nibs. Like, if you guys have never had a cacao nib, I recommend it. It's actually quite a tasty. So, one of the healthier things you can have for breakfast, like when I was a little bit healthier, was oatmeal and cacao nibs, unsweetened. So I'm really not a sweet guy. So breakfast savory. So but oatmeal doesn't really lean towards that. You can have it plain, but then like doesn't really taste like anything. So then you can add sweet stuff to it. So I would add cinnamon, which is not really sweet, it's just a flavor, right? And then cacao nibs, which are bitter. So yeah, there's really nice bitterness to your breakfast. I don't know if that sounds fun to you, but for me, it was like bitter chocolate, cinnamon, and oatmeal. Very healthy. Yeah. Cacao nibs, more of that grapey tone. Again, it has a little bit of this kind of like grape candy thing, grape cough syrup, you know what? It's vinous. It has this kind of like Malbec or Cabernet Sauvignon kind of like tannic, kind of like red wine tannic kind of vibe to it, right? That's where we go. You also get a little bit of milk chocolate in the middle. The beer is definitely acrid, ashy. This is an Imperial Stout, American Imperial Stout. So they don't go light on this stuff. Some people don't like it, but it's got almost a smokiness, but not quite. It's like some people call it burnt rubber tire. That's a great analogy. You ever smell just like raw rubber, after a tires is spinning, sort of that burnt rubber thing. Maybe a hint of dark fruit, but more of that just vinous grapey tone. Mouthfeel is medium plus to full. I would just say just medium plus. There's really not much residual sweetness to this beer, at least perceivably. The beer is, ashy, burnt, vinous, dark chocolate, full, rounded. As you wait more, there's a nice complexity of espresso, coffee, chocolate-covered espresso bean that sits on your palate. So there's a little bit of counterbalance of that sweetness, but really is on the edge of a big Imperial Stout. The noticeable thing I will say about this beer is actually it's not that hoppy. Some of these Imperial Stouts come off noticeably piney, resinous hop. Like the flavor of hops is part of the imperialness of the beer, along with the big, ashy, roasted flavors. Here, you're relying on mostly the ashy, burnt flavors, the roasted character, without actually noticeable like hop flavor. Like sometimes you smell the hops in the Imperial Stouts. You also notice a solid bitterness. I feel like the bitterness is balancing, but not noticeable. Sometimes Imperial Stouts have a noticeable hop bitterness. Yeah, I see a little bit of it. But it's not too dominating. Dominating's not even a bad thing. It's just noticeable. Like here's hops, here's not really there. It's really relying on the malt. I'm really excited to revisit this beer because honestly, it's freaking fire. If I had to two of the shelfies that I've reviewed pretty consistently recently are Old Rasputin and Narwhal, Sierra Nevada Narwhal. Out of those three, geez. Hey man, we might have battle beers. You guys post in the comments below. This is one of my favorite styles, and I'd be very curious to find out which one actually is one of my favorite of the bunch. As you wait more, there's a really nice kind of like oatmeal tone to it. Like there's almost like maybe adjunct grains in here to bump up the body and sweetness of the beer. I don't know. Is there oatmeal in this recipe? I don't think so, but possibly. It's really good. If I had to guess, this is right up there with Old Rasputin, and I've been liking Old Rasputin and Narwhal recently. So unfortunately, there's some favorites that I don't really see on the market anymore. We get Oscar Blues, but we don't get 1050, which is one of my favorites. Founders Imperial Stout is discontinued, which is a shame, which is, in my opinion, like the best beer they've ever, maybe the best beer they've ever made. There's some hype barrel-aged stuff out there, but literally their Imperial Stout is maybe my favorite beer produced from them, and possibly my favorite Imperial Stout of all time. Stone stopped making their totalitarian Imperial Stout, which was absolutely fire. I don't know, man. There's not too many delicious Imperial Stouts that I can find on the market, and that's why I'm reviewing Old Rasputin and Sierra Nevada Narwhal for you guys. But this is on the market now, and this is crazy good. Definitely not my favorite, but it's very good. I like me some Imperial Stout. All right, there we go. I've been giving out this rating quite a lot recently, but I feel it's appropriate. Like, it's just not quite in the 98, 99 range or hundreds, like super rare, but 97 for me. That's a 97. That's just freaking fire. No, 97 minus. Okay, 97 minus. That is really good. It's actually, by the way, produced out of Brooklyn and or Utica. So, yeah, they have an upstate facility. That's really where they brew the beer. But yeah, I thought this beer was maybe one of the lesser kind of accessible Imperial Stouts, but it really is freaking fire. You guys post in the comments below. Has this beer evolved, a recipe involved in your on your palate through the years? Because I don't think this beer was ever that good. And this is, I guess, like my realization. I need to drink more black chocolate, Brooklyn Brewery Black Chocolate Imperial Stout. 97 minus. Until next time, guys. Cheers later.